Yo, what's up, lads and ladies? This is gonna be a quick video on Demon Slayer TP farming. One thing I do want to say, this is version 2 of this video. I made one last night, which spoke about controller farming for Demon Slayer. And I just want to talk about this. I play MapleStory for Steam. So I've always assumed that any kind of Steam setting to use for MapleStory is completely fine. And any Demon Slayer like that I've spoken to when I was setting up my Demon Slayer to farm, told me to use a controller, because it just makes the system a lot easier, and it's just way better to play the game. Unbeknownst to me, according to a lot of people, once I uploaded the video, I started getting a lot of... I don't think I've had this many messages since the Solar Decap. Some of them not very nice. But apparently, controller farming is no bueno, and basically against the TOS, is what I've been told. The thing that we'll be talking about in particular, there's two things. It is your controller settings for a turbo key and a toggle key. Apparently, these two options, because they mess with the input of the controller, and they're bannable, is what I've been told. So don't use a controller, don't use toggle keys, don't use turbo, because apparently this is really bad. But yeah, I assumed that because you play through Steam, or I have 18,500 hours through Steam, and I've never had any issues using any kind of Steam plugin or Steam overlay or anything like this. But apparently this Steam setting is against the terms of service of MapleStory for a controller. So yeah, don't use this. If you do use this, you are putting your account at risk. Yeah, don't do this. Some other classes that can do this, but not to the same effect of Demon Slayer, are Nightwalker and Kanna, although obviously TP farming has a built-in loot rotation, so it's much more appealing on a Demon Slayer. Whereas if you do it on like a Nightwalker or a Kanna, you're just stood in one place, so you still have to loot every 2 minutes. Every other class can also use this via Janus farming, where if you put down 2 or 3 Janus orbs, which is 80 seconds or 120 seconds, you can essentially turbo and toggle key and never attack timeout and just press like 3 buttons every 2 minutes. So every class can utilize this. Do not get tempted to use this, because apparently it is really against TOS, so do not use this. I just wanted to clear that up at the start of this video. Now, we are... Yeah, there you go. 18,500 hours. And I've never had any issues with Steam, but, you know, the way it goes. Now I know. One thing that we do need to talk about before we talk about TP farming is Spanish keyboard or international keyboard. Me, on a United Kingdom English keyboard, to use the Alt-Ger key... I don't have to change my keyboard settings, but for some languages, in particular, I think if you're like English United States, the Alt-Ger key, or right Alt, like won't work or won't function. So you may need to either add a language to your keyboard. So you would type in like Spanish or English International. So if you're American, I think you can use English United Kingdom. In this example, I have added on English United States International at the bottom. You would just add this, and anytime you want to TP farm, in the bottom right of your monitor, you can basically change your keyboard settings to either your native setting or your international setting, and that way you can use Alt-Ger to TP farm. Now, why do we want to use Alt-Ger? It is because for Demon Slayer, you are putting Infernal Concussion and Chaos Lock on Alt and Control. And by this, you are then TP farming, which if you don't know what TP farming is, I will show you really quickly. It is... when mobs spawn, it's this. So I'm teleporting, and then I'm using Infernal Concussion, and then I'm teleporting, and then I'm using Infernal Concussion. And it's by far one of the best grinding methods in the game. And I say this as someone that's been to 290, and then 275 plus on multiple classes. Nothing has ever come close to how good or how easy this class is, which is why I'm so keen to make a guide on it, because I think a lot of people should be able to do this. This is crazy, and especially in the context of Legion Champion coming up. Legion Champion, you're going to want easy characters to get to at least 280 for hard Saren soloing for crit damage, if that's how the system works. So that's kind of why I want to do a guide on it. But yeah, that's what TP farming is at a base. We're now going to talk about 2 methods of TP farming. The first one being Boundless Rage, for which I am going to re-equip my second mastery. So we're going to re-equip this. And then go to my 4th job, because in 4th job, you have a skill called Boundless Rage. And essentially what this skill does is gives you unlimited Demon Fury, unlimited Demon Force, for the whole duration of the skill. And you might be, wow, that's really important, because when you are TP farming, you are spending resources, right? You're spending Demon Fury. So you see I'm killing stuff, and I'm barely generating the Fury back, right? So I cannot infinitely sustain this teleport with Second Mastery in particular. So what we do is, I'm going to disable this capping skill as well. What we do is we pop Boundless Rage, and you'll see now that I have unlimited Demon Fury. I'm spending the Fury like nothing is happening, and it's only going up from my Soul Janus, essentially, from killing other monsters. So yeah, and this just means you can infinitely teleport on the class, infinitely grind, and it's absolutely incredible. It's really good. To sustain this, you need 2 things. The first one is as high of a buff duration as you can possibly get. In this example, I have 65 from Legion, so a 250 mechanic, and then full grid buff duration, which will look like this. And then 50 from inner ability, 10 from traits, and then 20 from Legion artifact. You don't need absolutely all of these sources, but the higher the buff duration you get, the better. Because the skill only lasts 35 seconds. Now, you might think 35 seconds plus 145% doesn't equal 120. Well, we also run in tandem a core called Relentless Attack. And what this Relentless core does, it's a special node, so you have to craft it. It basically reduces the cooldown of the skill that you're using every time you get to a multiple of 50 combo, and it triggers every 75 seconds. So once you get a trigger, it has a cooldown of 75 seconds, and then the next time you get to a multiple of 50, it will trigger again. By using the Relentless Attack and the buff duration in tandem, usually you will get like a 10-ish second downtime on Boundless Rage, where you're at the mercy of your Demon Fury, where if you choose to continue to hold and see if you can last 10 seconds like this, or you can throw in some Cerberus chomps, or some lashes just to upkeep your Demon Fury, whatever you choose to do. But this one means you can grind in any map at any point in the game at any time just by doing Boundless Tech. As long as you have enough buff duration, a Relentless Attack, and anything like that, you will just be able to farm essentially infinitely. Speaking of infinitely, the next method that we are going to talk about is going to be infinite TP farming. And for this, I am going to disable my Mastery Core for Infernal Concussion, because I want the base version of Infernal Concussion to do infinite TP farming. And you might be like, why do you want this? It's because when you Chaos Lock, there is a lockout of the amount of time where you can gain Demon Fury back. So using this method, by going back to the base Infernal Concussion, you can just infinitely TP farm. And you just hold the key and you're good to go. Eventually, you will get like attack locked out. You just have to repress your key or move your character or do some kind of thing. But yeah, super easy to do. The way to get to this point is you need a couple things. You need a map with a really good mob count. So a higher mob count, like 15 plus is what I've been told. This map is, I don't know, like 17, 18k. Not sure, but this map is really good. You want good density. So you want a lot of platform placement together where you can kill a lot of mobs with your second. Like, you see that big explosion proc, the like big boom boom. You want to kill monsters with that to help generate fury. And yeah, that's kind of what you want. You want to be able to hit, the third point is to be able to kill with the second or third proc of Infernal Concussion. That is one of the important parts, because if you're not able to do that, eventually you will just run out of Demon Fury. Now, you can do many things to try and get in that range, right? You can have Dark Metamorphosis on, you can equip or unequip gear or symbols if you're too high level for an area, or too strong. There's many ways to do it. There's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no, like, table of, like, you need to be this CP in this map in this area to get, like, this effective infinite TP farm, because it's all subjective to your character. So if you want to do infinite TP farming, you're going to have to do a bit of testing and see if you can get your character to work in that area. If you can, awesome. If you can't, maybe consider going down or up if you're too strong, or consider using the Boundless Rage Tech, because the Boundless Rage Tech will always work, and you can use your second mastery with it at the same time, so you'll have a stronger attack also. But yeah, that is how to TP farm on Demon Slayer. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.